lived up to his own personal expectations this season, given his past results. And last time here at home, on senior night, this is a big match for him.
Yeah, definitely with his family, friends in the crowd, wants to show out on senior night. Big win for the Buckeyes if he could get it.
And this is the guy that Tom Ryan honestly really needs. I mean, to contend for a national title, he needs performances like he got last year out of guys like Kenny Courts. And there's a nice head inside single. Quickly shifts across, gets the two, and a quick escape from Christensen. So 2-1, out to an early lead here for the Buckeyes. Exactly what Coach Tom Ryan's looking for.
And like you said, Coach Tom Ryan will be looking for...
Nice shot attempt by Christensen. Christensen brings the head in the middle. Good scramble here, looking to isolate that bottom leg, but Courts has a hold of that ankle. This is a good scramble position. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Christensen bail out here, go to the head at some point if he feels a stalemate coming. Right now, we spent a decent amount of time here. It looks like Christensen can get a little bit of position here. He's getting that weight towards the head. If he can get that weight towards Courts' head, there's a possibility of control. Ref definitely, being a little bit patient on this. Hasn't called a stalemate yet. Hasn't called a takedown yet. Christensen looking for control. Now they're almost in a crackdown position where he's looking to turn that corner, and there's the 2 points. So Christensen, good persistence there. I mean, it wasn't quick and it wasn't pretty, but he certainly maneuvered his way into a takedown.
And as for Christensen, utilized that red shirt last year, arguably the best high school wrestler out of the state of Washington. He was 35-0 as a senior, winning states. And Kenny Courts, no slouch himself, 93 career victories, 16th in the nation right now at 184 pounds. Like you said, Coach Tom Ryan will be looking for him down the stretch, somebody with experience as Ohio State tries to defend their national championship.
Courts out to a quick front step, up to his feet, has hand control, cuts, and now the match is tied. So this is where Courts, minute left in the period, minute 10, looking to get back on top on the scoreboard. He was out early to a lead. Christensen levels that lead, and now we're all tied up. Nice pick, shift off to a head inside single. Christensen's hips in tight, and Courts just isn't moving here, so we're going to expect a stalemate. So that's a position where, if you don't get an angle, you either got to keep moving or else you're going to be stuck like there, and that attempt almost goes for nothing. 49 seconds left, 3-3 the score. Wisconsin with a slight riding time advantage, 16 seconds here, but basically an even bout at this point. Neither guy really pushing the pace. I think they're waiting here. Who wants to press that gas pedal? So I think the expectation here though is honestly when you're the wrestler that comes in with the higher ranking and the higher credentials, it's your expectation to impose your will. We saw that early in the first period out of Courts, not really seeing it here towards the end of the first period, and honestly that's been something that they're trying to overcome here. Another good shot attempt in deep on a head inside single. Solid defense from Christensen, squaring up as we end the first period, still 3-3.
And like you said earlier, Courts kind of a down year this year, not really himself. What do you think plays into that? Why do you think after so much success last year, finishing 5th at the NCAA championships, what's changed?
I think I don't know if there's a change or there's just the reality that what you did last year really doesn't matter today. So every time you step on the mat, it doesn't matter if the guy's ranked 15th, 1st, or 30th. You got to go out there and wrestle. And that's a reality. It doesn't matter what your name is, what your singlet says, where you're from, how many state titles you won. You have to wrestle today. So last year's All-American status means nothing today against Wisconsin. You can see that right now. We're wrestling. We have two guys wrestling here that are both trying to make their way in the Big Ten, and we have an All-American versus a non-All-American, and the match is even at this point. As we go to replay here, nice head inside single there, post to a head inside, turns the corner well, and that was Courts' first takedown and a quick escape by Christensen.
So after a quick headgear change for Courts, we'll be back to action right here with Christensen on bottom.
Goes quickly to the near waist far ankle, shifts off to a tight waist chop. Now here to a tight waist claw. So 3 little transitions there to change the position on top, get the weight forward, try to keep weight on the hands, click off some of that riding time and get a little bit of advantage here in this match. Right now we're pretty evenly matched here.
Yeah, Court's looking to build that riding time up around 20 seconds.
Nice knee slide from Christensen up to his feet, and Court's basically conceded the escape at that point. 4-3, Wisconsin on top. Had a couple nice shot attempts from Kenny Courts this match, but unable to convert since the first attempt. We're going to see who can convert. There's another nice attempt. It looks like a possible spin behind, but reacted well by Kenny Courts. So some good wrestling there. Couple motions. Didn't really see anybody truly commit one way or the other after the initial shot attempt.
Yeah, both of these wrestlers still trying to feel their way, it seems like, trying to both be the aggressor at times.
Yeah, it's very, very reactive at this point. I mean,
yeah.
What we're seeing is a very reactive match, not one guy necessarily taking control, imposing their will, and saying, hey, I am the guy that's going to score the next takedown. I mean, honestly, this is not what people want to see. People want to see shots. People want to see hand fighting. People want to see, points being scored. And you know what? That's going to come into play. If you win by 1, you can lose by 1. And last year, Courts was fortunate enough to be an All-American. And then he's trying to do the same thing this year. And the Buckeyes need him to do the same thing this year. As we go to the third period, Courts chews him down. So this is his chance to tie it up. And you hear the bell tolling, if you can hear that. You hear the bell tolling here, and that's Ohio State's cry to, hey, it's time to perform. Third period is the time to win matches. Nice Grammy there, creating a scramble, looking to sit back, almost in a reversal position. It looks like he's going to get it. Has to get weight towards the head. The crowd is calling for 2-0 yet. Christensen has that ankle, so unless Courts can kind of get his hips behind his opponent, we're not going to see a change here. Right there, we're kind of in an equal position here. Rule of thumb in a scramble, high head, low hips wins the scramble. No one able to get an advantage there, so Courts goes back on bottom. The tough part with that is, even though it wasn't that Christensen demonstrated a high level of control, he's still clicking off the riding time. Right now, he's got 9 seconds. Another Granby attempt. Christensen pulling him back in a crab ride. And this is where Courts, it's time. He's got to get away. He needs this escape point, and he needs it kind of fast. There, he's out to a position where he's basically in a defensive position for a head outside single. Looking to slide back, hasn't quite cleared yet, hasn't created separation. He's close. Every second counts here. There's the escape. 4-4, minute left in the match, 34 seconds of riding time. Most likely not a factor for Christensen. So we're in a timeout. Minute left, and this is where you see a guy's fortitude.
And what are you looking for out of each wrestler here with these dwindling seconds coming down?
I mean, I think it depends on who you are. I mean, Christensen displayed a lot of defensive skill here. I mean, in the scramble, in his last 4 shot defenses against Courts. And I think if you're Courts, you got to find that opening where you're going to be able to turn the corner, score points, and not get in a scramble position. Right now, I think that comes with a little bit of position fighting, finding a way to get Christensen out of his stance so that when you hit that shot, you're able to get a little bit more of an angle and get behind. There, head inside single to the opposite side. Quick kick from Christensen, so we're seeing a lot of good defense. There, a super duck attempt, and here we have Christensen in a front headlock trying to shift off to a pick, and this looks like we're going to overtime. 3, 2, and 1, and that's where it ends in regulation. 4-4. Buckeyes and Badgers, Courts and Christensen.
So definitely good work there by Kenny Courts to get that point on the board, but a good job by Ryan Christensen throughout this matchup.
I mean, I look at these two guys' posture. I don't really like the looks of Courts' posture right now. His hands are on his knees, his head's bent over. Christensen a little bit more on his toes. I mean, the body language is speaking a little bit here, so we'll see if this is a little bit of a possum game or not. And there you see the nice kick from Christensen with just a savvy defensive maneuver. Start of action here in overtime. Court's quick shot attempt. In on a single, shifts off to the other side, looking to split the middle. And he's sitting to his butt, looking to hook that bottom leg. If he can get his head out, he's going to have two. Waits towards the butt, but his head is trapped between those legs. And there's the 2 points. 2 points for Kenny Courts. You know what? Went after it right off the whistle in overtime, which is smart, and gets his hand raised. Big win for the Buckeyes. Big win for Kenny Courts.